Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. And we are pleased to be joined by, why not? Let's get Dalton Good on here. Of course, if you haven't seen him, from the Left Turn Podcast, and a massive Kyle Busch fan, in case you haven't noticed.
In case you don't see.
We figured we'd get Dalton on because, obviously I think well aware of what's going on. Obviously the championship's a huge story. Kyle's truck team will be in the headlines tomorrow, but of course this is the final time that Kyle Busch will be in the number 18 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. And by the way, this is also the last race for M&M's as their 32-year reign comes to a close. How are you?
Good like my last name. Thanks for having me on, buddy.
So going into this race, I know it has been a very frustrating year for Kyle Busch fans.
You can say that again.
Yes, I can. But just take me through this year. What has it been like for you as a fan? I know you got to meet Kyle earlier this year. But
3 times.
Nice.
Yep.
What besides meeting him, what was that like to what has it just been like to just watch this season?
Well, I mean, at the beginning of the year, it was going to be emotional because, last year at Christmas, I got a horrible Christmas present that M&M's was going to be leaving the sport at the end of this year. So it was already going to be an emotional. It was going to be the end of an era. But, at first you wasn't, as a Kyle Busch fan, I didn't overreact. I thought for sure that some good sponsor was going to slip right in and take control after this season. And really at the start of the season, like Kyle did amazing. Like he was very solid at the beginning of the year. He started off at the top 10 finish the Daytona 500, which was a good way to start the season. And then after that, it was just top 5 after top 5 after top 10. The Bristol Dirt win, which I got to witness. So it looked like everything was going good. I thought Kyle was finally back. After like 2 years of struggle, I thought maybe this year he finally does something. And tried to impress some new sponsors and try to get somebody. But then I don't know what happened. Like Sonoma weekend came and then it just went downhill from there. And then it never came back up. And it just got very frustrating. And, like I said, you go from top 5 to top 5 to top 10 consistent like week after week. And Kyle's breathing down Chase Elliott's neck for the point lead. And then after that, like he just struggled. And then we're like, what's happening? And like, it was just poor finish after poor finish. And you're like, when's this going to end? It's just like it was never going to end anytime soon. Or unless until Kyle finally signed a contract for somewhere. And then I thought, okay, well, now that he signed for Richard Childress, I think he's finally focused again. He's finally going to get the season started. But unfortunately, the engine blew up the Bristol night race, and that ended his playoff hopes, which hurt. But I mean, that's the way it is. The way it's been this year, it kind of doesn't surprise me. It's just it's definitely been a struggle. But as a Kyle Busch fan, you want to enjoy it the best you possibly can. With M&M's final season, with Kyle being an 18 car for the final time at Toyota. So at this point, that's just what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to be positive. I'm just trying to end this season the best way I possibly can, and then move on to better days in 2023.
Yeah. Also, M&M's is leaving. Obviously, if the last 15 years, that's kind of what it's known. It's like, the candy man always giving out those M&Ms, those Skittles, those Snickers, all those things. And now that's all gone after this weekend.
Dude, it's unbelievable. I really didn't think this would ever happen. And, going back to when M&M's made the announcement, like I completely forgot that this was like their final year of the contract. I thought that M&M's would want to stay for as long as possible because of how many times Kyle's won that car. But yeah, like the Snickers schemes, the Skittle schemes, M&M's Halloween, M&M's red, white, and blue. I'm gonna miss those dearly. I said it like once the M&M's news broke that I was talking about how much I was gonna miss those red, white, blue M&M's paint schemes every year for the Coke 600 and the red, white, blue Skittle schemes for 4th of July. The M&M's Halloween schemes as well. Those are fun. And of course, I don't know what sponsors Kyle's going to have next season, but I'm just afraid that, you're not going to have that, I would love for whatever sponsors coming next year to have like another Halloween scheme or another red, white, and blue scheme, kind of keep the tradition going. But I mean, I'm excited for whoever steps in. I'm going to support them as best I possibly can. But we can all agree to this. M&M's is going to be very, very hard to replace.
It is for sure. Let me ask you this: what did you think of Ross Chastain's big move to get in that championship for?
Dude, I've never seen anything like that before in my entire life. That was beyond wild. So I was watching it, and I mean, Ross will literally do anything to win a race. He'll do anything to make it to the championship. This man will literally do whatever it takes. And I remember I was watching that race, and I saw he was 2 points out. My first thought was he's going to dump somebody. My first original thought was I thought he was going to destroy the entire NASCAR fan base by dumping Chase Elliott when he was around him with, I think, around 5 laps to go, something like that. But he passed it cleanly, so I said, okay, I guess he's screwed because he's out by 2 points. It's kind of hard to pass at Martinsville with this short track package. So I guess it's over. What's he going to do? And then I see Chris Bell, across the finish line, winning the race, and I see Ross Chastain in the wall. And my first original thought was, I guess he just blew a tire, broke a rotor or something, and slammed to the wall. But then I saw he was flying through that corner, and then my thought was, oh, that was a really bad wreck. And I saw him pass 5 cars all at once, and then I was like, wait a minute, he did that on purpose. Did y'all see that? Dude, hats off to Ross Chastain. I mean, he's, as a fan, he's kind of maybe mad a little bit this year, but all the respect I lost from Ross, he gained back from that move, man. That's beyond incredible. As a race fan, whether you like him or not, I don't know how you can't not like that. That's impressive, and hopefully that could end up being the championship winning move.
Yeah, it could be. You never know. Let's get your thoughts on it. Why not? Let's get your reaction to all the stuff going on. Tomorrow there might be a big announcement regarding Jimmy Johnson and Petty GMS. How about that? 7-time and 7-time, 14-time.
That's another thing I did not see coming. It kind of reminded me of the Tyler Reddick 2311 news, just out of left field, out of nowhere. You never saw it coming. Dude, huge move for Richard Petty Motorsports and GMS. This team has been making good moves after good moves after good move, and Chevrolet as well. Really good for Richard Petty Motorsports, and really happy for Noah Gragson as well. I love watching Noah Gragson in the Xfinity Series. When he signed with Petty, I was like, this might be a little bit of struggle, just kind of where they're at speed-wise, but hopefully he can make something out of it. He signed for Petty GMS at the perfect time. He couldn't have came in at a more perfect time than this. This is really, really going to help that team. I don't think Jimmy Johnson's going to want to go in there and run, 15th to 20th every single week. He's going to want to go in there and he's going to want to win. He's going to want to win races. He wants to be one of the dominant teams.
Yeah,
I think it's going to happen. I actually want to know too if this means that Petty GMS could switch to Hendrick engines.
Yeah.
I feel like it has to be.
Yeah, I know that Chevrolet's been kind of collaborating with their engine department there, but everyone's kind of doing the same. But Hendrick ECR, they've kind of been combining the last few years, so maybe they'll get up there. So it'll be definitely interesting to do that. Obviously, the Xfinity Series has been getting a lot of attention lately,
especially today.
Yeah. What were all your thoughts about that? I mean, Noah Gragson and Ty Gibbs and all that stuff. And what's your take on all that?
Dude, man, we are in for a hell of a rivalry next season of the Cup Series when both these drivers are coming into the Cup Series. It's going to be awesome. Dude, Noah Gragson, he's fired up. And I guess we all know how much he does not like Ty Gibbs, man. So I actually did not watch the Xfinity race this past Saturday. I was actually at Neyland Stadium watching us beat the crap out of the Kentucky Wildcats. But I did see the finish, and it was very disappointing because I was a Ty Gibbs fan. Beginning last year, when he stepped into that 54 Monster Energy car, I immediately became a fan of it because as a Kyle Busch fan, it brought back good memories. You know, of Kyle driving the 54 Monster Energy. One of my favorite Kyle Busch schemes of all time. Like, I loved it when he was with the 54 Monster Energy. Such a great scheme. A lot of races won that car. And when Ty stepped in, I'm like, this kid's going to be the future, and I want you to take care of this beautiful paint scheme for us. And he won his first career start, and I thought, okay, I guess Ty's my guy for the Xfinity now, and he's definitely going to get a full-time ride for this year. And at the beginning of the season, I stuck with Ty Gibbs. I bought some merch. I brought my Monster Energy stuff back out to support him, and then this right here was just, it was stupid. Like, I don't get the whole point of, you're in the championship 4,
yep,
and you're about to have one of your teammates in the championship 4 to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
And you just dumped him. And that really hurts you in a lot of ways, because with you taking Brandon Jones out, you're like completely outnumbered in this championship 4. You got 3 junior motorsports cars against you, and Brandon Jones go to junior motorsports next season. So I don't know what Ty was thinking about there, and it really didn't help himself with him getting out, celebrating like a wild man, and not even acknowledging it. It's just not a good look. But yeah, I'm out of all the championship races this weekend, I'm more than looking forward to the Xfinity Series Championship. It's been a great season in that series, and I think this is going to be hands down the best one of the weekend.
Okay, pivot. Let's go away from NASCAR for a little bit for this one. How about you? What was your reaction when Tennessee beat Alabama? I got to get your thoughts on that.
I can't even tell you how happy I was that night, dude. That was one of the best nights ever. I had a lot of confidence going in to that game because I watched Alabama play Texas A&M the week before, and I thought Alabama was going to wipe the floor on Texas A&M because statistically, Texas A&M has one of the worst offenses in the conference, and Texas A&M about beat them. And I'm like, we got a shot here. And that same day, we went down to Baton Rouge and put 40 points in LSU, and they only scored 13. Yeah. So, and then I thought Texas A&M was going to beat Alabama, and a lot of Alabama haters were like, I'm hoping Texas A&M wins this game. I'm like, not me. You do not want a pissed off Alabama coming into Neyland Stadium next week. So I actually do need Alabama to hold on to this game, and luckily they did, because I feel like if Texas A&M would have won that game, it would have been completely different. But we get to Neyland Stadium and play that game. And fun fact, I was actually supposed to go to that game, but then my little sister, who doesn't even watch football, stole my ticket. She stole my ticket, went to the game with my stepdad and his friends, and I was not happy about that. But however, I'm actually very happy she got to witness that. That was her first ever Tennessee game, and she witnessed a historic one. Yeah. And of course, we get to the end of the game, and I knew Alabama's kicker was going to miss that field goal that had 15 seconds left. And after he missed that, I'm like, okay, Josh Heupel is going to take it down the field, and he's going to score, and he's going to win this thing. And sure enough, I was very nervous, though, because our kicker does miss sometimes, and he did miss an extra point in that game too. I'm like, dude, you got to do it. You got to do it right here. And it was a deflected kick. It didn't look pretty, but it made it through. And Neyland Stadium got wild, and so did every Tennessee fan. Man, it was such a fun night. Yeah, I mean, and it's been a struggle. As you can see, I'm a Kyle Busch fan, Tennessee Vols fan, Nashville Predators fan, Carolina Panthers fan, Atlanta Braves. The Tennessee Vols are literally all I have this year to make me happy. So for them to beat Alabama, this is the first time I ever witnessed Tennessee beat Alabama, in my entire life. So yeah, man, it's been a wonderful season. Got another big game this weekend too, on the road at Georgia.
Boy,
dude, I hope we can get that one, man. Winner goes to the SEC championship and most likely college football playoffs. So big game for Tennessee. I hope they can pull it off.
For sure. It's it should be a good one for sure.
Yes, sir.
Your face is going to be on Kyle's car. Well, one of them on Kyle's car this weekend. A lot of fans over the years have submitted to M&Ms, and all the fans' faces are going to be on the car. So you're going to be riding along with Kyle in his final race with M&Ms and with Joe Gibbs Racing this weekend. What's that like to kind of have your face on a car?
Well, Casey, I feel honored to be a part of Eminem's final ride and Kyle Busch's final ride with Joe Gibbs Racing. It's truly an honor. I've dedicated 15 years of M&M's as a sponsor. I've always bought their product. I've always done like flavor reviews on Twitter for them, and like it's been a fun ride. With M&M's over the past 50 years. And again, it's sad to see them go. So when they released that they were going to do this paint scheme sometime this year, I knew I had to get something out there. So I submitted my picture in, and that picture was the Daytona 500 from this year. This is my first ever Daytona 500. I went there just to watch that, the beginning of, the first race of the Gen 7 car and the first race of the last season with M&M. So it was awesome to be there. And then I brought my that flag over there with me, so I got a picture with that. And I was hoping M&M's would submit it just to show off M&M's, and luckily they approved it, and I get to be on the car. So yeah, like I said, it's truly an honor. I'm very excited about it, and I just hope we can have one last good run this Sunday.
Yeah, I know M&M's has had a lot of promotional stuff with this this final year. Of course, the M&M's Fan Appreciation Weekend, of course, earlier this year at Pocono. That was exciting. I know I don't know, a lot of Kyle Busch fans were a part of that weekend, so a lot of fun stuff. So overall, what is your favorite Kyle Busch paint scheme? Let me ask you that.
Oh, dude, there are so many. I mean, there's a lot to choose from. So really, I should say crispy, because like I love the green like more than the yellow, and obviously that's the championship winning flavor. One of my favorite M&M's flavors as well. This is going to be a random one. I want to say my favorite all time M&M's paint scheme was the 2009 Transformers M&M's that he ran at Sonoma back in 2009. So I grew up like a diehard fan of the Transformers Michael Bay movies, and I was really looking forward to the that movie that was going to be released that summer that year. And I had absolutely no idea that was going to be a paint scheme. Like we bought tickets to go see that movie in Myrtle Beach later that week. And I turned on TV, I'm watching qualifying, I see Kyle Busch running that paint scheme. I'm like, no way he's doing a Transformers car. So like it just made me so happy that I was kind of surprised that he was doing that. And again, I had no idea he was doing that. So it brought a lot of childhood memories back. Like I said, Transformers, one of my favorite movies growing up. I hate it didn't run all that good, but yeah, I definitely have to go with the Transformers M&Ms.
All right. And okay, give me your 3 championship picks for this weekend. The trucks.
Okay. So I'll start with the truck series. I'm going to stay at home for the KBM bunch. I'm going to go with Chandler Smith. Okay. Xfinity. This is Noah Greg's championship to lose. Definitely going to go with him. Now for the Cup Series. So I don't think it's going to matter about who has the best car. I don't think it's going to matter about who's the best driver. It's going to matter about who wants it the most. And that one car of Ross Chastain is the only one of the 4 that desperately wants it the most. He threw an absolute Hail Mary last week at Martinsville that nobody would ever think of. Like, nobody has literally ever done something that crazy to make it this far. And that just tells me that this man is like he'll do anything he can to win this championship, and that's why I think he's going to be the guy to beat. So I'm taking Ross Chastain for this Sunday.
All right. And what if Kyle Busch gets into victory lane this weekend?
That would be a wonderful ending, man. That's the best way he can go out. Honestly, by the way the season's gone, it doesn't look too good. Really, all I'm hoping for is just one last good run. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for a dominant race. I'm not asking to lead all the laps. I'm not even asking for a win. Just get a good finish. Have a good send off and get some momentum for 2023. That's really all I'm wanting for Kyle, and I'm hoping he can give that to me and the rest of Rowdy Nation this Sunday.
All right. Dalton Good, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck as you embark on Kyle Busch's final run with Gibbs and M&M's this Sunday.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on. For those of you out there, just follow me on Twitter at Dalton Good 18. Tune into our podcast at the Left Turn Cult. We will do a championship recap this coming Monday, 10 Eastern, 9 Central. And also this Sunday, I will be doing live reactions for not only the championship 4, but Eminem's final race. So if you go to Left Turn Cult YouTube and subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell. You will immediately be notified when I go live this Sunday. We will live react to the race as Kyle drives the number 18 M&M's car for one last time. So be sure to tune in.
All right. Thanks for that.
All right. Appreciate you.